recording. So, how you been?
Gotta introduce the stream first. I mean, the podcast first, man.
I did. Everyone, welcome to the Ruined Straw podcast. I'm your host, Straw Dragon One, and your
I'm
co-host.
the other host, Rune King, 21.
Beautiful.
So before we go anywhere, I want to say this because I just saw it on something just now. So there's a manhwa I've been reading called "The Beginning After the End," and just a while ago I was roaming around on like I don't know, I think it was Instagram or YouTube. I don't remember which one, but I was doing that and it popped up on Audible, and I was like, "Hold up, wait a minute! They have an Audible book for this. That is cool."
That is
I looked
weird.
on Audible.
That is very weird,
Yeah, I
actually.
know.
That's
But
more
this
weird
is
than
the-
interesting.
It's
I-
an Audible only one, so it means that it's only available on Audible, which means it's not really known because it's a light novel. Also, the author seems to be like not Korean or Japanese, which is kind of weird. And I'm just like, oh, that's why they made a manhwa out of it. So I picked it up and was just like, I'll do this for you. But it turns out that what the manhwa is at right now, which is chapter like 127 or something like that. Hold on, let me look. 125. It turns out that that's only up to like book 3. Guess how many books they have?
How many?
8.
Wait. So how many chapters per book, then?
I have no clue. I have absolutely not a single freaking clue.
Huh.
And it's just like, what the frick? Now I'm just gonna listen to the Audible because it's just like I'm so far behind apparently that I need to catch the frick up, and the manhwa isn't picking up again until like I think February. So it's just like
Oh, they're on hiatus?
yeah.
Ew, gross. So, today we're going to be discussing what is essentially Harry Potter. At least that's what we said last time. What I don't...
How
well,
deep you want to go?
That's
The
what I,
first 2 books.
that's what I was thinking. Let's stick with at least the first half, which was the first 3 or 4 books. We'll see how it goes, right? We'll talk about
No,
book
we should
1.
do.
We'll talk about book 2, movie 1, movie 2 also, which same thing really. There are some differences, obviously, but
We should save every time it hits a point where it's just like now that's just got darker. Like for instance, Harry Potter 1 and 2, it's not that dark. It's just like kid friendly. Hey, this is the world of Harry Potter.
I wouldn't say that at all, though. There are some very dark implications in the book, right?
Yes,
They're subtle. Yeah, because most kids
They're very subtle.
most kids wouldn't like pick up on it, but the very so when he gets his Hogwarts letter the first time, right? And it on the letter it boldly states to Harry Potter, whatever you live in British Town 101. Like, and then it was like the cupboard under the stairs. Like, boy, why are you living in the cupboard under the stairs? More importantly, how come when the school saw, hey, this very, very famous child of ours, he's living under the cupboard stairs.
He's getting treated like dirt water. Yeah, but that's not my point. My point is the fact that you don't start seeing crazy, off the wall stuff until book 3, and then when book 3 to I think 5, 4 or 5. Wait, what's book 4 is Goblet of Fire. What's
Yes.
book 5? Order
Book
of the
four,
Phoenix?
book 4 is Goblet of Fire. Book 5 is Order of the Phoenix. That's when Umbridge takes over the school.
Okay, so you have Introduction, which is book 1 and 2.
Yes.
Then you have the Dark Truths, really. That's pretty much what it is Dark Truths, which is book 3 and 4. You have this bitch, which is pretty much 5 to 6. And then you have 7's entire clusterfuck of whatever the hell that is.
Book 7 is
It's its own thing of just destruction.
we'll get to it later. Just there's so many things to talk about. So many things to talk about. So before we really get into it, I was thinking we could both do a. Do you know what house you're in, by the way? Well, let's start that out. Have you ever taken a quiz online? Like, hey, this is the house you belong to.
I did once, but I don't remember what it was.
All right, cool.
I think it was Hufflepuff.
I've never done it
I don't
myself,
remember.
so we're gonna do it live here.
Oh God.
Well, I'll go. Don't worry, I'll go first. Obviously.
I gotta figure out what mine is now. Man, and also I'm looking at manhwas and mangas that I haven't read in a long time. They have gotten really, really, really far in what they're at now. Because there's Eden Zero, which is like Fairy Tail 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
When I read it, it was only in like the first 20 chapters. They're on 132 chapters now.
Eden Zero is I've seen part of it. I've heard it's not like Fairy Tail at all. Even though
It's
like
just the characters look exactly the same.
he has a style and he's sticking to it, and I can understand that. But come on, dude. The main the main two characters look the fucking exact same as Natsu and Lucy. It's a copy. This is the meme of like, hey, I didn't do my homework, let me copy, and they're like, yeah, sure, just change it a bit so they don't notice. That it's exactly that. That's what's happening.
That's too on point. That's scary. but like in all seriousness though, is this I read the first 20 chapters. I like the power concept. Like I like how the powers work. I like their story goal. But it's just like I can't not look and see Fairy Tail right now.
Yeah, no.
Like
it's a hard hurdle to get over. Can you see
and
it?
Also,
Can you
why didn't they
tell me if you see it? Tell me if you see the screen, Joe.
Why didn't they do Rune Master? Not Rave Master. What was that other one that he did?
Rave Master and Fairy Tail. Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't he just use the Rave Master stuff? Rave Master looks amazing.
His
Like,
art probably
amazing.
his art it just evolved though. That's just how his default drawing style is now.
Oh, man.
Can you see the screen, Joe? Can you see what I'm showcasing on Discord?
No.
What do you mean?
Oh,
no?
wait, hey, I'm getting on it now. Hold on. I was wondering why I couldn't see it. So, how do you take this? Can you send me a link so I can?
I'll send it to you soon. All right. You see me doing the first question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is my zodiac sign? It is a Libra.
Same.
Choose an element. Fire, because I like fire. What dessert would you prefer? Cheesecake, champagne and truffles, strawberry shortcake, or tiramisu? Cheesecake. Whatever. I know what tiramisu is though. It's very coffee-like.
Yes. We make it at my job, so.
What genre of movie is your favorite? Romantic comedy, mystery thriller, science fiction, and action adventure. Ooh. That's a tough one.
Oh,
I'm split between romantic comedy and
podcast,
science fiction.
We were going to have a guest of our friend come on, but he's doing stuff right now, so
yeah, he's a big cunt, so it's just us two right now.
Sadly.
We were gonna walk him through this whole Harry Potter thing because he's never seen it. I think he could have seen it. I don't know. Who cares?
I think he's only seen 7, if I recall correctly.
Which makes sense. He probably saw it like as the big blockbuster reveal. Probably science fiction. Pick a familiar. Dog, lizard, turtle, hedgehog, rat or cat, owl or spider. What are these? These are terrible. Dog or lizard is fine. Rat or cat. What is that? That is the worst combination of pets I've ever seen.
Turtle. Well, you got Ron, which has a rat, and Hermione, who has a cat, so...
No, but I'm saying the combination of rat or cat. Jesus. All right.
Sure.
How would you like to travel? Apparate all the time, broomstick, Magical Metro Bus, floating. No, teleportation. What is this? What kind of question is this? Anyone who doesn't pick teleportation is just wrong. I don't care if that offends anyone. You're wrong. Just
Listen,
you're wrong.
it's just like when people say, when I ask people when I was younger, what superpower would you want when you if you can have one? They always say fly. I'm just like, why would you pick fly when you can just teleport?
Look, flying has its advantages, but teleporting is just so much more convenient for everyday.
It's so much better.
All right. What book would you check out from the library? Persuasive Charms, Quidditch Tactics, Magical Herblore, and Archaic Runes and Spells. All right, another toughie.
I can see you doing persuasive charms.
That's I'm thinking. It's either between that one or Archaic Runes and Spells.
I can see you just being like, I look good, don't I? Mm.
That's not what Persuasive Charms means, but
Yeah, but you can use it that way.
I mean, yes, I'm sure. Probably Spells. I gotta go with Spells. What magical tool do you use the most? Magical object, wand, spoken spells, cauldron. Is a wand not a magical object? And spoken spells is not a tool.
Well, as you can remember from Dumbledore, you can just not use words.
You still need to use the wand, though.
Not necessarily, depending on what the spell is.
Yeah, but wandless casting is a whole other can of worms. Because then wandless casting, you're not using a tool at all.
Listen, I'm fairly sure if we saw like magical beasts and how to describe it and all that stuff, we would actually understand better. But I don't
plenty.
see that.
Right.
I made a promise to somebody I wouldn't watch that until they want to watch the whole thing at once. It's just like, I guess so.
That is the most retarded promise I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
Listen, it's only because I could just listen to the books and I was just like, I'm good. I don't need to watch it.
All right, which class is your favorite? Broom class or dueling class or biology or magical creatures, potions and divination, or charms and astrology? Oh, another toughie.
I like to point out every choice that you're making now is choices I would have made when I was younger.
We're both similar people.
Listen, our symbols are both Libras. Like, it's not surprising.
Man,
by the way, we both were born in October.
I think I'd really enjoy dueling class. But charms and astrology also just sounds so interesting. Oh my god. I'm torn. I'm torn.
Just any mighty about that shit, boy.
Probably dueling class. What's your favorite Quidditch position? Seeker is like goalie, and that's just Keeper also is...
No.
I have that reversed. Yeah, you're right. Keeper is goalie, yeah. Seeker is bullshit. I agree.
Snitch.
A beater is okay. Chaser is probably the most fun to play, hands down. At least I'd like to think so. Give me one sec. Okay, let's see. What do you do in your common room? Work on projects, pursue private interest, drink tea and relax, hang out with friends. I would never work on projects, unfortunately, unless I have to.
Unless they're personal.
Well, that's probably pursue private interest, right? Probably drink tea and relax. I'm not gonna lie. All right, what would you get when visiting Honeydukes? Sherbet lemon drops, chocolate frogs, exploding bonbons, and Birdie's bots every flavor beans. I do like to gamble. You find a box of kittens. You take them all home. Okay, that's not a choice.
Because I can't pet them anyway. I'm allergic.
Get them cared for properly at a shelter and adopt one. Bring them home and adopt them out from there. Keep the cutest and give the rest to friends. Whew. Probably. I'd probably bring them home and then adopt them out from there.
Boris, you had like 6 cats in your one house.
Yeah, that's why I don't want any more. Can you keep a friend's secret? I think secrets are lonely and should be shared. Of course I can. Secrets are like loans. I can gain interest on them. I'll take my comrade's secret to my grave. Of course I can. How do you take your coffee? Black like my soul. Untrue. My soul is actually sparkling. I don't know what color, but it's sparkling.
It's orange.
I prefer dandelion root tea. No. What is that? Get out of here. Double espresso shot with loaded... Alright, no. Get that out of here. With plenty of milk and sugar, obviously. Who else, right? You get caught doing something wrong, what do you do? I calmly explain why I did the wrong thing for the right reason. How can you define what is wrong if it feels right to me? I refuse to admit I was wrong. I start crying. I can't stand doing things wrong. Yeah, no, but like if I'm doing it, how is it really wrong?
Nope, that's narcissism talking.
Your friend is upset over a breakup. How do you handle it? I pull my tarot deck for a new love reading? No.
No.
Plot the social demise of their ex, starting with public humiliation.
That's some next level shit.
That's not a bad choice. I make some tea and pull out my tin of comfort cookies. No, I wouldn't have a tin of comfort cookies because they would belong to me. Those are my cookies. I drag my friend out and to harass their ex. No, I would humiliate them. I would plot their downfall. You witness someone being harassed in public. You throw fists into the air and taunt the harasser loudly. Try to comfort the person if they're close enough. Walk past, don't interfere. People need to learn to defend themselves. I kind of agree with that. Depends on how bad the situation is. Tell the victim about their aura and that they are special. Damn. I wish there were like an option between A and C. But which I'd probably go with C. It may sound like a rude thing, but between these four,
How many questions are there? Jesus.
I don't know. All right, a stranger asks you for directions. What do you do? Point them in the right direction. Maybe jot it down on paper. Walk them partway there until you know they got it. Tell them how to follow their instincts. That's how you get everywhere. Depends on where they're headed. If it's interesting, I'll tell them. Probably A.
Four's kind of a dick move.
I'll probably A. You catch your boss breaking work protocol. You keep it to yourself all day, but tell your significant other at home. Don't believe in protocol and break it all the time. It doesn't seem that important. That one speaks to me on a personal level. Keep a mental note and add it to your blackmail file later. When we're breaking protocol with them, it was fun. Okay, no. I don't break rules with other people because that's how you get caught. I'd probably just keep it to myself, honestly. It all depends on like what it was, right? What decor... This is very long indeed. What decor items suit you at home? Opulent, exquisite, furniture, and fabrics like silk. Lived in, hardy furniture that can take a beating, lots of flowy curtains and dreamy colors, blankets, pillows, and warm colors. No, I need things that can take a beating. I'm a very not careful man. I sometimes break things without meaning to break them. I need things to be sturdy and strong, or else I'll fall on my ass when I sit down.
You do that a lot, actually. I remember.
What does your wardrobe look like? Basic colors and sporty stuff. Layered, fluffy, all black all the time. Overalls, or at least cozy sweaters. Huh. I mean,
A woolly jumper.
I have many black items. Probably just basic though. Pick a carbonated beverage: Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, or Fanta.
I don't drink those anymore. Why does it look like a Mountain Dew boba tea?
I mean, it probably is.
You know? Yeah.
Um. Damn. I really want to pick Pepsi. I haven't been drinking Coca-Cola at all.
Does Coke even exist in Argentina?
Of course it does. Where would you go for your ideal vacation? Morocco, Britain, Venice, or New Mexico? Alright, well, Morocco sucks, Britain sucks, New Mexico sucks. And not even Mexico, just New Mexico. So that's even worse. And I've always kind of wanted to go to Italy.
You see, this is 25 questions in. This is very long.
I just don't know when it'll finish. Alright, what's your favorite cookie? Chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, Girl Scout Thin Mints. And then there's the fat ass answer of I have to pick? Question mark. Chocolate chip. All the way. Alright, what dragon would you rather face? Common Welsh green, its color is pleasing. Swedish snort snap because I think they're like mushrooms. Chinese fireball, it sounds delightfully sparkly. Hungarian horntail because I'm not afraid of the challenge. Now, which one of those was the weakest? I wish to face the one that won't kill me. I guess the common...
Welsh.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe the Welsh green, because if I die, at least its color is pleasing. You have a paper due. When do you write it? On the way to class? No. I don't write it. I have chosen to dictate a presentation on a topic I prefer. Oh, fuck. That's... Oh, my God. That's it. That's the answer. I don't care what anyone else says. A spell lets you speak to a specific creature. What kind? Dogs. Everything else is just wrong. Pick a pizza topping. The other things were just dumb. They were like aliens, which is not an animal. Alright, pick a pizza topping. Tomatoes, parsley, crushed red pepper, extra cheese, mushroom and onion, classic delicious. All of them. I'm not afraid. Yeah, all of them. You accidentally read your roommate's diary. What do you... Alright, how do you accidentally read your roommate's diary?
I feel like the first, two lines, you should have picked that up.
Yeah, no, there is no accidentally here. This is on purpose, and now you're just trying to make yourself feel better.
This is taking way too long.
Yes, I thought this would be shorter, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna speed through these. Sit down, talk to them? No. Accidentally, I've been reading along together. Dirt? No. Waving in the face, start reading? No. Alright, put it back. And, but delight in knowing something more about... No, I'm not gonna delight in knowing something about that. No, no thanks. Go away. Oh, I got Gryffindor.
You're Gryffindor.
Oh, that's gross. I was hoping for something better.
You're a Harry Potter.
Alright. Well, that was very long. Do you want to take it?
That's 30 questions.
Yeah.
Alright, link me that shit. So I made...
Here.
I guess I need a screenshot.
Yeah, you need to on Discord. And stop.
What do you do?
What do you do?
I am doing it now.
All right.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
And since I already no,
Some of those first questions are the same. So you picked air for the second one.
mm-hmm. Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, obviously. What's your favorite kind of movie?
Romantic comedy.
That was my second choice as well.
Turtle.
Turtle, interesting. How do you like your whatever?
Operate. Duh.
How would you like to check it from the library? Magical herb lore.
Yep. Magical objects. See, this is what you don't realize. If I have enough magical objects and a magical herbals and all that stuff, yes, it's a lot of work to get all that shit to work, and include transfiguration. Yes, it's a lot of work to get all that. But once you have it ready, you can deploy that shit at any time.
I'll just
You don't
make
have to worry
things
about
work.
Saying it. You don't have to worry about saying it or none of that. You can just be like, boom, I'm done.
I'll just make it work though. I'll just make it work.
Keeper.
You're playing keeper?
Yeah, private interest.
Which one are you doing for the candy? Which candy would you like best?
Look, actually, I do lemon drops. I would adopt one because I do like pets. I just can't have them.
So you would adapt the cat that you're allergic to.
You see, if I could keep them, I would though.
All right. Can you
But
keep
I'll
a French
one.
secret? That's the important question. You'll take it to your grave. Amazing. How do you like your coffee, Joe?
I wish they didn't have any coffee.
With milk
so I
and
haven't
sugar.
actually drunk
Amazing.
coffee. I
No,
wish they
you
would-
pick.
there was a no coffee answer because I don't really like drink coffee.
You picked the correct
And when I
answer.
did, I was super young, so.
All right. So you're caught doing something terrible. What do you do?
Right reasons. I'm not about to let you dictate me.
You calmly
Harass.
explain why you're wrong. All right. Harass. Could. Yeah, you're doing
Scream
something.
at them.
All right. A stranger
harass
acts.
them, I harass
Let
back.
me talk about the question, Joe. What if somebody's not
No.
watching?
They know what you did. They just need to know what answers I go through.
Oh my
now.
god! But they can't because you're not even letting me say the answer either.
Walk Pim passed away until they got what they know what they got. I'll help them. I'll actually lead them there. Blackmail.
What decor would you
Shit.
like? Lots of flowy curtains and dreamy colors.
Yep.
You just picked it. Okay, beautiful.
Oh.
What does your wardrobe look like? All black all the time, or layered, flowy outfits? I don't know why I
See, I
said
have
it like
all-
that.
I have black all the time because that's what my work requires. But if you actually look at my clothing, it's very like diverse and very loose.
So I don't know. I definitely
That's
do not
only
have
because-
layered outfits.
Because I am a thick boy, I need all the space in the world in my clothes.
Pick a carbonated beverage.
Coke.
Coca-Cola.
Britain because there's no sunlight.
What are you, a vampire?
Yes.
What's your favorite cookie? Girl Scout, Thin Mint, Snickerdoodle, chocolate chip, or I have to
Isn't
pick?
Snickerdoodles just sugar cookies?
If I believe, no. If I remember correctly, Snickerdoodles are kind of like peanut butter-ish, kind of.
Look it up.
I could be wrong. I'll look it up.
I can't spell.
Snickerdoodle.
Yeah, they're just peanut butter cookies.
Yeah.
With cinnamon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
no.
just basic.
Chocolate chip because I'm basic like that. Let me get that freaking challenge I'm playing. Let me just get the Chinese fireball. Sounds exotic. I like the sound of that.
You have a
Last few hours.
Of course.
Songbirds because they actually know certain things. that people don't think about. Birds are actually really freaking smart. That's why they're able to sing songs, which is scary. And also, here's a fact about I think it was crows or ravens. They actually talk to each other and spread news to each other. So it's just like
Yeah.
don't mess with them because they
All right.
you up.
Pick a pizza topping. What would you prefer as a pizza topping?
Just meat with mushrooms. Like high cholesterol is like a disease in my family to the point I'm just like I'm not going to let myself fall for that.
All right. So you've accidentally
Accidentally.
read your roommate's diary. Do you wave it in their face and start reading an open passage aloud?
No, this seems too personal. I'm gonna put it back.
Yeah, that's what I picked as well. All right.
Ravenclaw.
Oh, nice.
I'm a smart boy.
I can see
You
it.
belong to Ravenclaw. Left center, walking in the beat. You just left the center. Walk your own beat. You may have forgotten to put pants in the morning. Yeah, I've done that once actually. I
So
went to work
yeah,
and my-
I believe that. I just do not see. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, yeah, Gryffindor kind of fits because I just do not give enough fucks about anybody else. It was either that or Slytherin, but I'm a tad too compassionate for that.
Take a picture of that. Someone might want to know about that later.
All right, well, I'll stop the stream.
Disconnect.
Yeah.
All right, but like, yeah, no. Let's. Oh man, if I
You
was
just
Ravenclaw-
disconnected. Join Discord again.
Oh, frick monkey.
That's fine.
Where's my seats?
There we go. All better.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's wild, honestly, how that works out. It also makes a lot of sense because when I was younger, I probably would have been like a Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor because you know how I was when I was younger. I would go out of my way, help people and all that shit, and do like destructive things at every possible turn.
Yes.
I used to strip after school simply because it made me laugh, and people would react in ways that made me giggle and stuff.
Yeah, a young ruin gave absolutely no fucks about anything.
Now I just want all the knowledge so I can ruin people with it.
I think knowledge is good to have. But I think it's my I don't give a shit about what you think attitude that put me in Gryffindor there.
I don't care what you say. I'm doing it this way.
Look, how can it be wrong if I'm doing it?
Just
The road is where I lead. For our advanced viewers, that was actually a Record of Ragnarok quote from the latest chapter. So, spoiler warning.
Huh. This thing got me curious to find out what my Patronus is now.
Do that later.
I do always still talk.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the first two books the first two books and the first two movies, because I think that is a good section of just like, this is the world that you're in now. This is how this is going down.
Yeah. Book 1 and movie 1.
And book 2.
Yeah, but let's just go chronological for now. So Harry's upbringing is like we said earlier, complicated with
Great bullshit.
because I think if I remember correctly, and I read this somewhere before that J.K. Rowling was gonna make it a lot more obvious and just bring out more hints that like, oh no, this guy was just getting abused. And they had to roll that back down because I think the editors was like, hey, we're trying to sell this to kids. We can't have our main character just get the belt every time he does something wrong. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was Harry's lack of like spell casting in the first book and movie. At least to start off with. because Harry goes into the wizarding world, right? With eyes full of wonder, as a kid does, right? Because this is a dream come true, right? He's an abused youth, like literally finding an escape from his tortured home. And so he gets to the magical world, and everything is new and shiny. He goes to the bank, and he finds out, holy crap, I'm rich.
Because his parents, which in the movies they don't explain, but his parents in the books have made the bone growing potion that he uses in book 2.
Was it his parents or his grandparents? I always forget.
It was his parents. It's specifically his dad.
Huh. That doesn't make sense. All right, whatever. I'll probably look that up later, but that's fine. Yeah, so there's that. So Harry goes into this new world, right? And the first thing that always like bothers me about that is why the hell did they send Hagrid? Like, I understand why they did it, like narrative wise. Like, Hagrid is like such a good character. He's
No, it's because Hagrid was the person that brought him there to begin with.
Yeah, it was symbolic, but Hagrid is also doesn't know how to explain Jack.
And also, he's a freaking half giant, so it's just like, you're just big, dude.
All right, that's racist. Why did you bring that up?
Because
that has nothing to do with
him. No, it does. Because if anybody sees him, like legit sees him, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is that, dude?"
I guess the other reason would be like for protection. I guess maybe yeah, like if people get rowdy around Harry, they'd be like, but Hagrid's here, and Hagrid is like 8 foot tall and 600 pounds, so it'll just knock you out.
Let me just bonk you on the head. You're dead now, or almost dead.
I too wish I was rich, Alakiba. I too wish I was rich. So, it doesn't make sense to me. It's just because, I don't know. Also, this is the part where it always gets to me, Joe. But because of Harry's upbringing, you understand like some of the things he did, or I guess didn't do, right? Because the lack of questions and inquiry he had was just also a little like mind-boggling.
Wait, what do you mean?
Just in general, right? For his classes and all that other stuff. Because Harry in the first book just he is not a good wizard. At least compared to everyone else. Like, some of it you can understand with his upbringing, because he probably was like, but if I do good in school, then my teacher will talk to my guardians, and my guardians will beat me.
Not necessarily. Well, actually. Maybe.
Jared's leader cunts. There's no ifs, ands, or but about it. What did you think about that whole like introduction to the magical world?
I thought it was okay because it was just like, oh my god, if anything.
Well, that was done on purpose, right? It's meant to instill that sense of wonder that he's supposed to be feeling about this, and that everyone, as a reader, you're supposed to get. The one thing that is kind of disappointing, though, that the movies didn't do was they didn't properly show just how sassy Harry is sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't show the power Harry possesses with his words. That boy can talk some mad trash.
See, that was the real power he knows not. See, what the original draft in Book 7 was just Harry insulting the crap out of Voldemort so hard that he just seppukus himself.
That would actually be amazing. That would be legit amazing. I would watch that like 3 times.
Now I can't even. The only thing I can think about right now. Have you Do you remember the legendary rant the Scotsman did to Jack in Samurai Jack?
Yeah, that lasted for literally 2 minutes straight.
Yeah, it was just 2 minutes of him insulting Jack, and I can't think of anything other than Harry with that same Scottish accent just ripping into Voldemort, just making him like running away crying.
Mm. Mm.
That would have been the true movie ending right there.
That'd be pretty great, honestly.
So another thing, that it was weirded me out was I guess it can be forgiven, right? It's just the lack of government in the movie, just like aside from the teachers, right? There's just like nobody. There's no like structure for anybody aside from the teachers.
All right, I gotta bring this up now because Matt Mercer and an Boris, come on, man.
I muted myself. Don't worry.
I, I'm talking to myself then. Great.
No,
Um,
I muted myself and then I'm back.
all right, I can't. I need to find what that guy's name is.
Matt Mercer.
No, not that.
I would have believed you. I don't know either. You could have told me his name is Peter Pan. I'd have believed you.
No, there's.
Oh, maybe not Peter Pan, but
No, there's a video he did with somebody, and I'm trying to figure out what that video is.
so what is it? What was it?
I want to make sure I get all the right names in this thing. Matt Mercer and what's his name? Come on, come on, come on. Brandon Lee Mulligan. Brandon Lee Mulligan and Matt Mercer. So like Dimension 20 and Critical Role. These two guys, they brought up in one of their podcasts from like 2019. They brought up how Harry Potter makes no freaking sense.
Well, it doesn't.
Why everybody goes by the laws of one school.
What do you mean?
You can't operate unless you're 17, right? Unless you're like year 7, you don't go.
Well,
to
that's
school
not a school rule. That's just a
no.
that's just a
There's a
law.
whole bunch of other stuff too. They give an example of. I can go find the link for you. It is, oh man, they make it's just like a whole. Wait, why do they do that? That's stupid.
What do what?
Like, let me. I gotta find it.
If we're gonna poke holes into the wizarding world, we're gonna be here all night because there's a lot to talk about.
You got Civilization of Wizards, who can teleport at will.
Yes.
And they have their mail delivered by the nature's slowest bird.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you this. The from what I've seen, the wizard kind are not the most logical people, but also magic. Because for some reason you can just kind of scribble on a piece of paper like, "Hey, this is where it is," and then that owl will know where to go, right? Like without any training, you'll be like, "I need you to go here," and then it'll just like go. Like it has internal GPS. Somehow it knows. Hey, my master wrote this on the letter. I gotta go here, and I know exactly where this person is.
Listen,
So maybe they have.
I sent you a link.
Maybe they have. I don't know, some magical like the owls at least that makes them go faster. Or maybe they themselves can teleport once they're out of sight. Who knows?
I have no clue, but I've sent you a link to the video I'm talking about. That honestly made me consider everything. And I was just like, hold up, wait a minute.
What about during not book 1? Yes, during book 1.
No.
What about
Take 3 seconds to. take the 3 seconds to actually watch 30 seconds to actually watch that video, because it will make you think. You'll be like, hold up.
No, because I already know what it's gonna say.
If you've got a
Delivered by mail, whatever.
Don't whatever my links. You heathen.
Alright, evaporating. Yeah. Now he brings up good points, but so man, I don't know where to go. So what did you think about the rest of what happened during year one?
All right, totality. Wait, movie or book?
Either or.
All right, book. Amazing, because it's just like, here's this, here's that. This is some of the rules that you can't do. These are like some of the things you can do, and the things you can do outweigh the things you can't do immensely. Like, it's just over the top. You can't argue that shit. And then like, the one thing I don't enjoy is that it's always specifically from Harry Potter's point of view. I wish they like put like a point of view of somebody else from time to time, but they don't necessarily need to. But like, Harry's just like, man, this is cool. This is cool. Like, you feel that joy as a kid of just like, I'm a kid and I'm learning all this cool magic stuff. Also, I found out I'm technically rich because of my parents. Also, I found out how my parents actually died, so now I know how to feel about their deaths. Like, there's some comfort to that. As somebody that lost his father like 6 years ago when I was 20, knowing how they died, it's just like, okay, I feel like emotionally better about it, even though it took like 3 years to
Oh yeah,
because people
were
like doing stuff behind my back the entire time. But knowing how that happened just brings a release off your shoulders. And then like,
no. But speaking about that part,
discovering all this cool stuff about like magic and how, yo, you're a natural like your dad was with Quidditch, and it's just like, but you're technically better than your dad because you're a seeker while he was just a, like, I think it was a chaser or something like that.
Yeah, he was a chaser.
Like, it's just like you have that connection to your parents now.
You know what my problem with Harry Potter just in general is, and we'll talk about this later in another podcast when we get further along the line. He got Gohan'd, where Harry's parents were amazing, academically and physically, and then Harry himself was always just like mediocre. And I never
slightly above average.
He was mediocre though.
In like
no. All right, so
in the physical field, and not in like studies and all that, he's like straight average. But like beyond like studies, it's just like he does certain things. It's just like that's actually like really good. Like that should not be done that way.
Maybe like this is definitely the movies painting me with a bias because I know the movies more than the books. But at least in the movies, and you can attest to this more in the books, because I know this isn't what happened in the books, right? But in the movies, they made Hermione almost like too incredible.
No, they did her the exact same way they did in the books. They made her so it's just like she knows everything. Like she's the know-it-all that, like, all right, in the books, you know how in the movies they get to know each other like really fast and all that stuff because the movies have to catch up with all like the book stuff because it's a certain amount of time frame. In the books, until like half the year goes by, if not almost the end of the year, nobody liked Hermione because she was too much of a know-it-all.
Yeah, I know that.
Ron and Harry was just like, yo, if you stop like shoving your knowledge down other people's throats, we get that you're excited about this because we are also excited about this. Well, maybe not Ron because Ron had like
Ron's a dick.
Brothers. Yeah, no, Ron had like 5 brothers before him, and he can't do anything good because they did everything good before he did. I can see why Ron's a dick because it's just like you have nothing. Everybody.
I can understand.
And then when it gets to him, he has his sister, who his mom cares about way more because it's the only daughter, and it's just like, Ron has every reason to be a dick. He just shouldn't be that much of a dick, especially at that young
Ron,
of an age.
but not no. But I understand Ron. Why can't I? Why is it sounding wrong when I say it? Ron. Yeah, I understand Ron's actions, right? At least partially.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the first Halloween, right? Like the whole reason Hermione ran away crying and encountered the troll, which bonded all the trio's friendship, was because Ron made fun of her.
Yeah, because she's a know-it-all.
Yeah, but
And like, that's literally Ron being to the point. It's just like, I can't. Like, I honestly can't.
that was
And
just
it's because he knows. It's because Ron knows his two twin brothers. They're generically smart. His brother that's older than them is really smart to the point that he's a prefect.
yeah,
Which
Percy.
just means like you got top grades. Yeah, and then your brother is so smart that he became a dragon tamer. Like
That's I mean, I don't think that
You have-
requires more brawn than brains. I would think.
listen, you need both in that regard. But it's just like everything that Ron knows, it's just like I don't want to know this because I have no reason to know this, and it makes me mad that everybody's just shoving this in my face
Well, that's
because he
Ron's
grew
own.
up with it.
It was Ron's own insecurities that led to that, though.
You also have to remember not Ron, Harry and Hermione, they didn't grow up around magic.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's so new to them means they're going to be way more into it than Ron is.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is why Ron's so fed up with it, because just like, I've known this my whole fucking life. Like, why are you rubbing this in my face? Why are you shoving it down my throat? I know about this.
All right, so I would agree
But
with you if not for the
He's
fact
too
that
young
Ron
to be
did it
that much
wrong.
of a dick.
No, but if Ron did the spell correctly, I'd be okay with that. Because if Ron did the spell correctly and Hermione still was like, whoa, right, and kept nagging him about it, I could understand. But the fact is that he didn't do it right. And I know that he had like the wrong wand or whatever, but the pronunciation is also not part of the wand. So
Well, you don't necessarily. Well, like we did when we did the test, you can do it without a wand. You don't have to pronounce it properly. It's all
yeah,
about
but no, you do when you're
willpower.
starting out though.
Well,
We're talking about kids,
yeah,
though,
no.
Joe.
When
So
you're starting out, it's
you
just
can't
like,
ride.
You gotta do it.
You can ride a bike without training wheels, but you're not gonna be able to do it until you get the hang of it. So
Bullshit. I did it. It hurt, but I did
yeah,
it.
and you fell. But every time you fall, that's
A
a
lot.
spell not working, and then you got to
Or
stretch
it's a
that
trash
out.
can.
You got to stretch that out a lot more.
I ran to a trash can at least 30 times in less than 2 hours. And not those little trash bins, no, like the big metal trash, like truck things. That shit hurt, but it was worth it. Well, like, yeah, no, like, and then, like, the only thing that made me mad about Harry Potter more than anything was the whole mirror thing. Like, that mirror had no point until literally the seventh book. That mirror didn't have a purpose to exist.
Yeah,
the
it
seventh
did.
movie. No, it didn't. It was just be like, oh, here's temptation to make people go insane. That's it. Until literally the seventh book and the seventh movie was just like, by the way, you have a piece of this thing here. And it's just
The
like,
mirror,
what-
the
what-
mirror,
what-
the mirror. Very sad. I know
That's-
what it
that's
was there,
such-
but it was there for that temptation for Voldemort. It's supposed to show you like what your heart's most deepest desire. Yeah.
Also, I think they well placed it only because it gave Harry an image of what his parents look like. Like that's a good thing to have him like know what his parents look like, because if you remember, his family fucking 100% disowned his mom before he was born because she got with Potter. Yeah.
Was
Potter.
it the
And then
was it the family
parents-
as a whole, or only the sister? Because I don't know what happened to Harry's
Because of the sister.
maternal grandparents.
No, because of the sister, the mom got completely negated out of the family, pretty much, because of the sister. And then with Potter, James Potter, he kind of only had his parents, and I'm pretty sure they died before Harry was even born.
If I remember correctly, they died like 2 years before Harry was born or something.
Yeah, like it was just no hope for him knowing about the Potters. But like the fact that his grandma and his grandparents and his aunt completely negated his parents out of the picture, it made me like somewhat happy. The fact that it's like, oh, you now know what your parents look like. You know why people look at you and just like, you look just like your dad, you look just like your mom. It's just like, you know what they look like now. So it's just like, I know why people say I look like them now.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's just like that's a up point in my book. But at the same time, fuck the mirror in general.
That comparison, speaking of, got old really fast. You look like your dad, but with your mom's eyes, and I get it, right? Like they need to be more original because everyone fucking said that.
Well, you got to admit every person that saw him and said that are people that haven't seen Harry.
And like, why the hell not?
Because Harry doesn't. Well, you gotta remember the newspapers don't have colors. Their newspapers don't have colors, so you don't see like the color of the eyes and stuff. They're like, oh, he looks like his dad. Like every single time, they're like, oh, you look like your dad. Oh, you look like your dad. But when they see him in person, they're just like, oh, you have your mom's eyes. Because like most people that say that have never seen Harry. Or if they have seen Harry, it's been so long. The point it's just like, yeah, I don't remember what you look like, man.
Maybe. So.
Right. But the ending, horseshit.
What do you mean?
The Philosopher's Stone comes to people that don't want it more than people that do want it.
Well, like, no, that wasn't the Philosopher's Stone. That was the enchantment placed on the mirror. Dumbledore placed the enchantment on the mirror that was like, all right, so I know Voldemort wants the stone, so I'm going to make it so that the only way a person can get the stone is if they don't want to use it.
Still call bullshit.
It's
Dumbledore's been playing too much shit in the background and it pisses me off.
It's very esoteric, right?
It's just like, if you playing so much in the background, how did you lose? Like, how do you die? Unless it's like your plot to die the whole time, which apparently it was.
Well, Dumbledore's whole flaw, right? Like his big flaw was that he just didn't trust anybody. At least that's what it came off as.
You can't blame him. You can't blame him because if you read the books, it explains why you can't trust anybody because of Grindelwald. And you're just like, yeah, I feel that shit. Like, I feel that shit completely.
Yeah.
I've had my heart broken before. I know how that feels. It's like, I don't trust you, bro. Straight up. I don't trust you.
Speaking of...
So I get that one.
His protection.
Oh, his mom's protection?
Yeah. He just straight up...
Doesn't everybody have
just straight up murdered a man. And then he couldn't see Thestrals. Like when he came back the next year.
Technically, him and Voldemort murdered a man.
Well, what? Half a murder doesn't count?
I didn't say it doesn't count. I said they're both technically did it because Voldemort made that professor touch Harry, which killed the professor, and Harry's protection killed the professor. So it's just like, you both technically killed him. But the difference is Voldemort doesn't give a flying shit.
The requirement
and Harry doesn't know better yet.
The requirement to see a Thestral is that you need to like see death.
Well, he saw his parents die in front of him. Well, he saw his mom die in front of him.
Yeah, but he didn't have the memories until year 3 with the Dementors.
It still counts. He doesn't meet Thestrals. He doesn't meet Thestrals until book 5. So it's just
book
like
5 actually.
When does Luna Lockhart show up?
Book 5.
I thought it was book 4. Well, if it's book 5, then that just makes it even more possible. Because just like
it was book 5 because, at least I think so, because it was the whole Cedric thing.
That's book 4.
No, that's book 5.
Cedric Diggory died in. No, Cedric Diggory died in book 4.
He died in book 4, but Harry didn't see the Thestrals until book 5 when he was coming back from the carriage on their way to Hogwarts. because he was like, "Oh,
Oh, right, because they said the first 3 years take the boats,
hmm
or the first 4 years. Wait, how did Harry get to the school? Because I know the first year he took the train, second year
they
he
take
took.
they take the train every year to like the state, the like Hogsmeade station, I believe, and then from there it splits up. The first years take the boats across the lake. Everybody else just takes carriages. The carriages, which everyone believes are horseless, but which are actually drawn by the Thestrals, which are invisible to everyone who hasn't seen death. All right,
She has to appear. She has to appear in the first book. I mean, in book 4 then, because that's when.
she might have. I don't remember honestly. I know she becomes a big
Because the
player
movie
in book 5.
in book 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, apparently she comes in book 5. That
So-
doesn't make sense because her and Ginny knew each other since they were in like book 2.
Oh, they've known each other since like they were childhood friends, I believe, right? Well, it doesn't matter. So
No, they met in book 2. That's when they both started their year of Hogwarts. Ginny's a year younger than Ron. That's why.
yeah, I know. So is Luna. She's a year younger than Harry in the group.
That's what I mean. Like they had to start. They had to become friends in book 2 because that's when they technically would be able to meet.
Well, no,
If they
because
weren't
no,
already
because in the they were I'm pretty positive it was that Luna and Ginny knew each other from like their childhood.
I don't know, dude. This is side story shit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go back. So Harry kills a man. Then the Professor Dumbledore's like, "All right, well, time to go back to your abusive family. Goodbye."
Yeah.
Which, you know, dick move. Dick move. And I know that
You
he
would
has,
think-
like, the blood wards are there. That gets explained later. It's like he needs to recharge them. But, you know, whatever. Look. I understand the protection of the wards. At least when he was younger. But now that he's, like, trained to be a full wizard. Come on.
Like now he has the startups, and also Dementors and all them and Death Eaters and all them haven't really showed up. He just had an interaction with Voldemort, kind of, and it's just like, at this point, he's pretty much fine.
Yeah.
Like he's mostly fine at this point. He doesn't need to go back.
Yeah, and then I don't remember how that summer went, honestly. Between the first and second year.
He got bullied by Dursleys.
Oh yeah, but he gets bullied every summer and every year that he was in Hogwarts.
It's wild.
Was it this year that at least that we find out that he's a Parseltongue? It's got to be, right? Because of Dudley's birthday, they go to the zoo. Was that summer or was it?
That's year 1.
That was year 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we didn't know what Parseltongue was until year 2.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and we're just gonna skip the summer because I just don't remember it. I'm blanking.
It wasn't important.
I'm trying to think of anything important that happened. Oh my god. I'm an idiot.
I know
Dobby happened during the summer.
Yeah.
And the letters. Also, that's...
Fuck Dobby.
What the fuck are the wards for if Dobby could just get in there?
Because elves are all powerful beings, dude. They just somehow became slaves. I don't know how that worked, but that's how it happened.
Well, they have a symbiotic relationship with, like, wizards. At least from what I understand.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. They're fucking slaves, my dude.
They need magic or
It's
they
all
die.
based on who. It's all based on what their master does. The reason why Hogwarts elves are so just like, it's because Dumbledore's like a really great guy. Like, it wasn't for the fact that Dumbledores are fucking.
I
good
gotta
guy, like,
look up the lore in house elves because that's also a part that it.
I don't know how they became slaves, but they're technically slaves by all things I've seen. They're technically slaves until they get a piece of clothing from their master, legit given to them. Even if their master doesn't know that it's in that fucking. Which, by the way, that's like the best cheese ever.
Yeah. Also, what the? Oh God, those goddamn words are fucking useless, dude. All right. All right. So
Also,
book 2. So Harry goes.
the Malfoy.
Oh yeah, he gets like locked in his room also.
Yeah, he was locked in his room, and then they were just like, "Man, you're getting too big for this like under the stairs shit." So we're gonna. Oh my god! When they explained that there was literally an entire room for fucking
Dudley's toys.
what's Dudley's toys, I was like, "What?
Bruh.
You have technically 3 rooms, possibly 4 because they had a guest in like book 3 and shit. You technically have possibly 4 rooms, and you have him under the fucking stairs for the one book."
Oh no, yeah,
Like-
dude. The Dursleys are cunts of the biggest order.
And it's just like, bro, that's not even fucking reasonable, man. You have an entire fucking room. I understand that you shun the kid, but you could shun him in a full fucking room. Like, god damn. You have a whole fucking room that nobody uses. Hell, even Dudley realizes when it's like, oh, you're giving him my room. But what if I want to go back in that room? They're just like, you don't use that room. You haven't used that room in like 2 years.
You don't want it. It's
It's just
tainted
like-
now.
It's just like, bro, that's fucked up. He had an entire room that he could have had this entire fucking time. It's like, dude, fuck you guys. I treat him like shit way too easily.
I think book 2 was nice. I think I liked it better than book 1.
Yeah, because you actually get to see them grow up a little bit, and you're just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice. Like you're not just complete freaking moron, Ron. He actually has a brain.
Speaking of,
Like, and on top of that, it was for the fact that Ron's wand was broken. Just imagine him actually pulling off all those spells. He would look like such a badass. Because it's a lot of spells that he knows that he's just like, don't do that. You have a broken wand. And it's just like, bro, what?
yeah. So
Like he was about to shoot. You remember the bludger like beating up on Harry and stuff?
yeah, because of
And it
Dobby.
was just like he was literally about to cast a spell to destroy the bludger, but Hermione was just like, "No, your wand is broken. We don't know what the fuck that would happen." So that means that he knows the spells. He can
Does
do
he
the spells,
though?
but it's
Because he could have
his
also
wand is
just been
fucked.
he could also been tricked by his brothers because Fred and George have quote unquote taught him spells before, which aren't really spells. Like during the
But still.
introduction in the train, Ron was like, "Hey, I'm gonna turn this rat yellow. Watch me." And then he does like a little rhyme, trying to turn his rat yellow, and then gets called out on it for not being a real spell.
fucking wild.
Speaking of the Malfoys, man, Draco's annoying. It's really annoying.
Fuck Draco. Fuck the Malfoys in general.
Yeah, the father definitely.
The father's a coward. He's just a straight coward.
Mm-hmm.
At least Draco, he's like, I'm scared. It's just like, yeah, that makes sense. You should be scared. You're literally a kid.
Yeah, he's like 3.
Like, it's like, I expect you to be scared, man. Like, I don't. But like, fucking, his dad, oh, what a coward. His mom is beastly though, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Cause she's like the sister to like Bellatrix, and it's just like,
And
your sister's
Andromeda.
that crazy. He's like, your sister that crazy bitch? She's like, what?
So yeah, the whole strategy of like the book was interesting to me.
I say that.
Just it was neat the way the book played. Like you didn't know the book was like a bad thing until until the very end. At least I didn't get any inclination from it, right? Looking back on it with perspective, you can totally tell the signs, right? Like, hey, that book is kind of sketchy, but
It's telling you shit that you really should not know.
yeah, but the first time you look through it though, you're like, oh, hey, the book is just kind of helpful. It's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. No wonder we should have known he's a nice guy.
But yeah, no, it's man.
So I'm gonna speed along book two because it's some stuff happens, but I'm trying to think of anything else major that happens. Like we learn Perry's to parse him out. The whole school turns on him.
Literally immediately because of the air of Slytherin. It's just like that's not how that works, man.
I mean, they don't know that though. As far as they know, like, hey,
Yeah, they're all freaking kids. Of course they don't know.
yeah, like the teachers didn't do shit either though.
Teachers are liars.
They're,
Teachers.
the adults in Harry Potter are just the most incompetent group of people I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
It's ridiculous, man.
Right, so there's the whole Lockhart thing where he's a fraud. He's just a terrible teacher all around. I have no idea how anybody passed their defense against the Dark Arts Snoots or their owls, considering the crappy teachers they've had.
They literally don't.
I mean, people do because people graduate and then go do jobs.
Also, you have to remember that because of his stupidity, well, intents and purposes, because of who he is and everything.
Who, Harry?
It really just no, the teacher.
Lockhart, yeah.
Because of who he is, it starts the whole rumor that if you go become a teacher as like a dark arts teacher, something bad's gonna happen to you.
No, but
Because they bring him up. They bring in the books. They bring him up later. It's just like, yeah, he barely remembers anything past a certain point.
well, that's because he fucked himself using Ron's broken wand.
Yeah.
But the
It's just
position,
like, oh,
but if I remember correctly, the position was literally jinxed by Voldemort.
Actually, didn't want nobody to be able to fight back to him.
No, that's because he's a petty bitch. He tried to apply for that job and didn't get it, so he was like, well, fine, no one gets that job.
Yeah, he
I
cursed it.
could be remembering that from a fan fiction though, so don't take that with a grain of salt. Though, but with the amount of times they've done it in fan fiction, I'm almost positive that's what happened. If not like a vague outline. I know for a fact that
Wait. What book did Harry and Dumbledore do the ring thing with the goblet and stuff?
6.
Then yeah, in book 6, I need to reread it because they do mention Voldemort coming back in that book. Not Voldemort, Tom Riddle coming back in that book and being like, "Yo, I want to apply for the Dark Arts teacher." And we're just like, "No." That is in book 6. I remember that because I remember it's the book that Dumbledore was getting fucked up because he's just like, I really should have told you I've been doing this, but I've been scared too. It's
yeah,
like,
book 6 was the most boring to me out of all of them.
They had too much exposition.
It wasn't that. It was just there wasn't enough going on. Like the exposition was fine. It's just it was a lot of like setting up for the final. And so like the main thing that happened in book 6 was the drama between Harry and Hermione with the book and like Ron and Hermione in Lavender and Hermione being like, "Oh, why doesn't Ron like me?" Like, Peach, why do you want Ron to like you?
And on top of that, you haven't told him that you like him.
Let's not get into that because fuck that.
Let me explain this to all people No. This is quick explanation. Anybody that is in their early 20s, pretty much 20, I don't know, 23 or whatever, explain your emotions. Trust me, people will understand it. Simple as that. Now, back to Harry Potter. But let's go back to book 2 instead of skipping to book 6. Also, Ron is still a dick.
Oh yeah, he does.
But he's a reasonable dick.
He gets
He's
his
just
moment.
like, "You're making sense."
He gets his moments, but
He's
he's
like, "You're making sense, but you're still a dick."
he gets his moments, right? So I understand why people like him, but I never liked Ron.
Like, it's just like, you're right, but you're being a dick about it.
Like, I get it because he's just a normal person. Like, if there were any other story, I would agree. And I guess it fits because Harry is also just like fucking an average Joe person, the superhero.
Like, you gotta remember that Ron's the only person that grew up in that trio with magic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even Neville Longbottom didn't really grow up with magic stuff. And he actually, like, got told all this shit about his magic family. He just didn't really grow up with it because his grandma was too old to, like, show him stuff.
All right, book 2. What were we discussing? Yeah, right. They go through the whole thing of trying to find out who the heir of Slytherin is. Hermione becomes a cat girl for some reason.
Oh, because she got the wrong hair on
Yeah,
her jacket.
yeah, I remember.
She's just like, I thought it was the girl's hair. It's like, no, it's her cat's hair. It's just like, you should be able to tell the difference from that and some variation. And considering how smart you are, I would not believe that you would gung-ho that shit like that. Like, straight up.
Anything else important we're missing
Also,
in book 2 before we get to the ending?
Yeah, we're missing the fact that everybody blamed Harry because he was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, that was Filch's fault, right? Because like they found the cat petrified.
It's not just the cat. It's not just the cat.
It was other people too.
Every single time a person died.
Well, that was because Harry
petrified.
kept hearing the basilisk talk, and so he was like, "Hey, I hear that voice again. Let me go follow it," even though it's saying "rip,
Also,
tear, kill."
Everybody kept giving, and also everybody kept calling him on his bullshit, and it's just like, no, it's not bullshit. I'm hearing shit, man. And I was just like, we don't hear shit. And it's just like, bruh, you know Harry can speak Parseltongue. He's one of the very few people that ever speaks Parseltongue. And on top of that, Dumbledore, you know shit be wild with this boy. Why aren't you listening to him? Dumbledore, McGonagall, and Snape all know something's crazy about Harry whenever Harry's like freaking out about something. And I love the books version of Harry Potter because they actually show his expression of just like, bro, listen to me. Like, they show his like emotions better in the books. It's just like, yo, shit's going wrong. I don't know what's going on. And I need somebody to explain the shit. And it's just like,
no, the teachers are just terrible. Let's not talk
Snape,
about.
I understand.
I'm not
because
going to
he
talk
has to
about
be that
Snape
way.
until later because once I start, I'm not going to stop. Like
Snape has to be that
J.K.
way, though. You gotta agree to that.
No. J.K. Rowling was like, I made Snape into a dislikable asshole, and I enjoyed writing him, but like he's not a good person. She admits he's not a good person.
Yeah, no. There's actually a lot of backstories about him. Where it's just
I know all of it, and I don't give a shit. Snape is a piece of shit. He can go fucking kill himself.
He does.
Good.
Technically.
No, he doesn't, though. He gets killed. He doesn't deserve it. Because then Harry's like, he was such an honorable man. No, fuck that shit. I would have slit his throat myself. If he were lying in my arms dead, and now we're Harry, right before he died, I would have slit his fucking throat. I would have killed him.
His obsession with love was ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, his obsession with my dead mother was ridiculous. If I had a bullet and Voldemort and fucking Snape in the room, I'd shoot fucking Snape. I don't care about Voldemort. I'd go like eat him or later. I don't care. Look, I'll find a way to kill them both, but I'm wasting the bullet on Snape. Is all I'm saying.
But yeah, no. And then the other thing I find very dumb about number 2 is that Hermione figured it out, but then she got petrified. It's just like,
Plot. No, I can live with it. I can live with it.
You couldn't apply that any other fucking way. Literally any other fucking
Well,
way.
that's why she. Well, when they found Hermione petrified with looking at her compact mirror for makeup.
Mhm.
So it makes sense why she was holding it like that, right? Because she was looking for the basilisk, because she didn't want to die.
Also, did nobody check her fucking hands
I guess not, because they
for
probably
that fucking
they
note?
probably could have just they probably just levitated her into the infirmary and we're like, all right, well, here's another statue. We'll come back in 6 months when we're done brewing the potions. Won't freeze you.
That's so fucking lazy.
Well, no, because what are they gonna do? Why would they check their hands? That's important. That part I can forgive, right? What's more impressive is that piece of paper didn't fall out of the hand of Hermione.
No, it's just like how you're supposed to be a nurse. You're supposed to check every avenue of anything to figure out why something happened.
Well, they already
That
know.
she didn't.
No, but Joe, you're forgetting that it wasn't like Hermione was the first victim. The nurse already knew everything there was to know about petrifications, at least on the conditions the students were in. So she had Hermione. She probably did like the basic spells to check. All right, well, yep, it's the same as everyone else. So just put her there.
Mm. Still,
What I want to know. Let's talk about the Chamber of Secrets.
how did nobody find that shit? Except for, and on top of that, Dumbledore knew about that. Why didn't he put two and two together?
He's old. He's old. He has 3 full-time jobs.
True, because the Minister of Magic is a dumb bastard.
No, because Dumbledore is a dumb bitch.
No. The Ministry of Magic is literally a dumb bastard.
No, I agree, but Dumbledore is also a dumb bitch. Like, his like true passion in life was being an educator. He said that multiple times. But then why be like, I understand why he did it, because if not there for him being a control, like the Dark Faction would steamroll the other guys because they're pussies. But come on,
Yeah.
come on. It's ridiculous. He should spend more time at school doing like the productive thing. Also, no one talks about it, but he's been there for like 50 years as headmaster or something.
I'm pretty sure he's been in it for over 100.
As a teacher plus headmaster, but I think like as solely headmaster, he was there for like 50 something years.
Yeah, because Voldemort. Well, because Tom Riddle and Voldemort and Harry's parents were all like in their 40s or 30s at this point.
Voldemort was 70.
That makes my point even more valid. Like, he came back as Harry. Voldemort was able to graduate from
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, go get in the Ministry of Magic for like 20 to 30 years, and then come back to Hogwarts to be a teacher and then get denied. Like, you've been there too long.
He could have changed so much of the society, but Voldemort was always like the status quo kind of guy, at least from what I understand. So he just never did any big changes. He's just disappointment. That's the word to describe him. Disappointment.
Disappointment.
So, yeah, the Harry kills the basilisk with a sword. That's cool.
Which, by the way, the lore behind that sword is just amazing as all. Like, no joke.
It's a magic sword that comes to any Gryffindor in need. Or I guess any true Gryffindor.
Not even that. It's the fact that it absorbs shit. It's just like, yeah, just assimilate your power. It's just like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What?
Phoenix. Like, you can just assimilate power like that. Like, goddamn.
And that's the end of book 2. Harry kills a basilisk and then goes back to being average Joe. And does nothing with that for the rest of...
He gets cried on by a phoenix.
Yeah, he gets cried on the phoenix because he got bitten by the basilisk, so... He should have died, the Horcrux should have died, but then Fox saved him.
Which, by the way, it turns out that does come back like twice in the entire series, that his tears can heal.
He is a phoenix.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh shit, like, that actually has significance. It's not just a one-time thing. Or at least one time until the end, aka Mira. Fucking bullshit Mira.
Ugh. Alright. We're probably gonna talk about book 3 and 4 then next podcast.
Yeah. Well, the next podcast that we do Harry Potter talk.
Yeah, it depends. We might record another podcast sooner. Well, we'll see how it goes, right?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. We'll definitely doing another podcast next Friday. But we might do another one in between. It all depends on how it goes, right?
Yeah.
There's just book 1 and 2.
I guess I'm adding a.
Go ahead.
I guess I'm adding a wand to the cup now.
Book 1 and 2 is fun, but I really wanted to talk about later. I just wanted to talk about everything as a whole.
No, there's too much.
I know. Yeah.
So what are we adding to the Ruined Straw cup?
Good question.
What's the significance of book 1 and 2? Just his glasses.
Book 1 would be the scar. Book 2 would either be the diary or the sword or the basilisk.
Just put a lightning bolt on the next to the cup now.
Mm-hmm.
Just symbolize Harry Potter as a whole. All right then, we'll get working on that later.
All right, well, I guess that's gonna be it for the. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of the podcast then. I hope everyone had a good time.
Oh, there's a lot of Harry Potter in this podcast.
There's a lot of Harry Potter in this podcast. Yeah, probably the next month is gonna be just Harry Potter stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Or at least the next 4 podcasts, depending on how we go about it.
There's gonna be some Harry Potter crap somewhere in this bitch.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. We'll see you next time then. Later.
Yep.